Hello everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Don't worry, this is going to be a quick video. I just wanted to go over some of the things that I found about Mother Teresa and also to make a correction from yesterday's video about Dr. Fauci. He apparently was Catholic or is Catholic. I did not know this. And he at least did not publicly, that I can find, advocate for depopulation. So I just wanted to correct those two things. Apparently neither of those are true, and I apologize for that. That was my mistake. I mean, it's an easy mistake to make, especially, anyway, I'm not even going to get into him. This video is not about him. I just wanted to get into Mother Teresa and her shady associations and what they all seem to have in common. Like, all three of them seem to have some similarities. First, let's talk about Robert Maxwell first. Let's get him out of the way. She apparently received a donation from him. During her tenure in India, she received a donation from Robert Maxwell and his press group, or press company. I'm not really quite sure. I couldn't really find the exact amount that she got donated. But one thing that I'll note about him that is a common thread among all her other associates is that he got busted, essentially, for embezzling money from people way less wealthy than him. He got busted doing that. Of course, that didn't come out until after he, unfortunately passed. But it did eventually come out. And we're not just talking about some small amounts of money. He, literally stole, millions and millions. And there still isn't, another common thread, there really isn't a clear answer to where this money went, what he did with it. At least not one that I've seen. Of course, I just started researching all this, so I'm sure I'll find more as far as that goes. But, anywho, so we had Robert Maxwell. We also have the previous dictator of Haiti, who she, yes, was associated with. Yes, she went to Haiti from India, accepted a donation from, which this is like a big red flag to me. She accepted a large donation from a country, I don't know if it's more poor than India, but it's certainly Haiti wasn't in good shape, okay? And she goes and accepts a donation from the dictator. He's given a donation even though his own people are having trouble and starving and are sick of it. You know what I mean? But she goes and she receives the donation. She even calls him a hero of the poor and all this other stuff, even though his own people did not feel that way. As we know, he ended up getting caught. The common thread here, he ended up getting caught embezzling tons of money from his own citizens. So it was even worse. It wasn't just some company he was robbing. He was embezzling money from his own poor country that was already poor. And he, when everyone started finding out about it, he ended up fleeing to France. This is, so a little side note here. He ended up fleeing to France in 1986. Lived the high life, whatever. Never got, punished for his, crimes. France pretty kept him insulated. But then he came back to Haiti in 2011 because of that earthquake that had just happened, that devastating earthquake. I'm very confused as to why he would go back. Maybe he thought enough time had passed that they'd forgive him. No, he should have known better. He shouldn't have gone back. I don't know. That was a little confusing to me. But whatever. He ended up going back, and they arrested him then in 2011. But anyways, the common note here is that just like Robert Maxwell, he robbed a whole bunch of people that he was supposed to be looking out for. Okay? Now, another association that I found of Mother Teresa is Charles Keating. Now, for those of you who don't know who Charles Keating is, he's another mysterious character that doesn't exactly seem to have one title. He was a lawyer. He was into finance, real estate. He was an elite. He was rich. And he also donated money to Mother Teresa. She accepted it. And I do have a number for what he donated Mother Teresa. It was well over $1 million. A lot more than that if you consider the fact that he even loaned out his private jet for her to use. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of connections with her and Charles Keating. So, and we all know what's the common thread here. He also got convicted or got in trouble for, like, stealing millions from, especially in particular, his elderly investors. At least that was the note I got. But, like, I'm sure it didn't really matter to him if they're elderly or not. He just, like I said, it's weird the stuff that AI points out. And I'm not just using AI for my research. Like I said yesterday, I like to use AI to see what they're trying to push you to believe. And then, you know what I mean? Because it's really telling. It's really telling. You all should try it. Instead of, like, using AI to, like, get information, use AI to see what information they're trying to push on you. It's a much better use for it. I highly recommend it. It's been great. It's helped me out a lot in my research. Anyways. So, and here's the thing I wanted to get to. You know what I mean? That, like, someone could argue, someone who really loves Mother Teresa could argue that she, how is she supposed to know? She's not their keeper. How is she supposed to know they're up to no good? Maybe she just thought they were a good person. Fair enough. But the thing is, Charles Keating is the thing. When he was convicted and going on trial and all this stuff, she wrote a letter. When are these famous people going to learn to stop doing that? She wrote a letter to the judge on his behalf, like begging him to show him mercy in all this. It's very interesting because Charles Keating actually, advocated for some, what I think are good things, like an end to pornography, because we all know pornography is just a bunch of trafficking. Like, that's what it is. For those of you who love porn and watch porn, just so you know, every time you watch it, and every time, you get aroused watching it, know that someone behind the scenes is being exploited, is more than likely being forced to do it, or coerced into doing it. Like, anyways, I'm going to get off that soapbox. So Charles Keating, by all appearances, looked like he was advocating for some good things. But you see, this is another, like, lesson that we must learn. This is how they do it. Like, the best liars are the ones who come out with, like, a whole bunch of truth and just a little bit of lies. You know what I mean? Those are the best liars. And they're everywhere right now, and they were everywhere back then. So you can't, like, look at what they advocate for, what they don't advocate for necessarily as a telltale of who they are, because they've got their deep state agents in, like, every category of life, in every single one. So, anyways, so yeah, it's just all very interesting. Mother Teresa, right? Oh yeah, and this from yesterday, the AP article, like years after she's been gone, trying to convince us, oh, it wasn't Mother Teresa selling babies, it was her shelter workers. The ones who worked at her shelter, who she was receiving donations for. Right? You see what I mean? Now, far be it from me to insinuate that Mother Teresa got up to anything untoward, such as anything as dark and evil as selling infants or children. Far be it from me to suggest that. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying, why name an article when literally, to my knowledge, nobody asked this question if she was selling babies. No one even asked. And they're just volunteering it. She didn't sell babies. It's like when one of your relatives or friends or whatever calls you and says, the first thing they say is, I'm not drunk. Or I'm not high. Yeah, I swear I'm not high. It's like, okay, I didn't say you or think you were until now. Like, it's like one of those things. It's like they're doing this a lot lately too. But yeah, anyway, so why is she connected to all these embezzlers? It's hard to say. But there are a lot of people who suspect that the donations Mother Teresa got, she clearly didn't spend these donations on the facility she was working at or in her charities. She clearly didn't, because they were all dirt poor and they received minimal care. She believes in, quote, spiritual healing instead of actual, like actually taking care of them. She believed suffering was a good thing. She believed in all these weird things that are not good for people that she was around, like for orphan babies and things like that, the poor. Like, she's like encouraging them to suffer more. Where's all her donations going? Well, many speculate she funneled it to the Catholic Church, but I haven't really found anything yet that proves that. Anything yet. Like I said, I haven't looked into this long. I'm going to look into it more, and if I have corrections to make, I will. But some speculate that she may have funneled it right back to the Catholic Church. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. It doesn't appear that she spent the money or used the money on herself. Like I said, she didn't use it for her charities, because, you know, a lot of them come out and said that, like, she would basically encourage people to suffer and things like that. Like, she wasn't as great as people make her sound. Like, she wasn't. And while all the people are back there suffering, she's visiting all these weird millionaires and billionaires who are robbing their own people. And even defending one of them. Even so much as writing a letter to defend one of them. It's just madness. It's just madness to me. And I just don't know. The weirdness around it, I feel like there's something more behind this. I'm going to look into it more. But yeah, I'm going to look into it more. So stay tuned.